The last time we saw Chris Benson pitching in a Pirates uniform was the end of the 2000 season. Back then, the former first-round pick was enjoying his second year as the up-and-coming ace of the staff. In his last Pirates appearance, Benson helped close out Three Rivers Stadium, striking out 9 Cubs batters on October 1st, 2000. 19 months later, Chris Benson will make his return to the Pittsburgh Pirates pitching mound. It will be a special night for the 27-year-old as he faces Curt Schilling in the Diamondbacks. Welcome to PNC Park on the North Shore, where tonight the Pirates entertain the defending World Series champion Arizona Diamondbacks, a first of a 3-game series. The 6-game homestand continues. Pirates just took 2 of 3 from a National League Central Division opponent, the Houston Astros. Greg Brown along with Steve Blass. And because of that, the Pirates winning 2 out of 3. They remain close to the front-running Cincinnati Reds in the National League Central Division. The Diamondbacks are close in the West, trying to repeat as division champions.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for the Diamondbacks because they have Schilling and Johnson, but the other part of their starting rotation really needs to pick it up. 2 out of 5 days ain't bad, but they're going to need some help out of the other starters.
Arizona took 2 of 3 from Pittsburgh at Bank One Ballpark last week, but the real story tonight, this really neat pitching matchup. You've got the veteran Curt Schilling. He's off to a 7-1 start, and Chris Benson makes his return.
Yeah, this should really be a lot of fun. Chris Benson is coming back. There should be a lot of adrenaline. He's got to be very, very excited, and he's going against one of the very best. Curt Schilling is leading major league pitchers in several categories, including wins and strikeouts and all the rest of the Schilling package. But for Benson, there's going to be a lot of adrenaline. But one thing he has going for him, he's not a kid. You know, this is not a kid that is just coming up out of the minor leagues. He's 27 years old, so I think he should be all right, although it's going to be very, very exciting. And one thing you have to keep in mind also, he's not going against some team that can't hit the ball. This Arizona Diamondback team, known for its pitching, i.e. Schilling and Johnson, this is a very, very good hitting ball club.
It's a very, very good pitching matchup, no question. Chris Benson returns against Curt Schilling, the veteran, who is off to a 7-1 start. Lifetime against the Pirates, great numbers, including 9 of his last 11 starts have been victories against the Buccos.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Giant Eagle, the official supermarket of the Pittsburgh Pirates. By Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light, cold down easy. By Pennzoil, we're driving protection. By MEC Racing Network, open an Express Bet account and wager by phone or online, anytime, anywhere. And by your Western Pennsylvania Toyota dealers. Toyota, get the feeling.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to give you this news update. It is raining in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Stop the presses.
Yeah, listen, if anybody in this city mentions the word drought to me again the rest of the year, I am going to choke them. It's unbelievable.
It is incredible.
Unbelievable drought. I just heard it.
I'll
hunt you down. I will hunt you down, and I know where you live.
Unbelievable. Well, yeah, there is a rain delay, but we do see that window.
Yeah, the proverbial window. Yeah, well, like they say, the rain always has stopped in the past. Listen, I don't do this very often, but I'm going out on a limb. You know, Benson is coming back. I'm going to make a prediction. He's either going to be very good, very bad, or somewhere in between. Now, you can take that to the bank. And I'm not backing off. I'm not backing off.
You're very strong. You are very, very strong. Well, how about Benson? I mean, here, guys waited this long. He's gone through that grueling rehab for over a year. It's been 19-plus months since he last took the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates. 589 days. I guess he can wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, I bet this is really a treat for him to wait through this stuff. But, you know, along with the physical part, everybody I've talked to who has gone through rehab and this sort of thing, one of the worst parts is that it's lonely because you're not around your teammates, you're not contributing, you're under contract, you're getting paid, and it's a lonely time. You spend a lot of time by yourself. You're missing the road trips. You're working out by yourself a lot of times, and this is a big night, not only because he's getting to pitch, but he's going to be involved again. He's going to be back with the troops, and you go through this, you don't really feel you have all that much in common for that particular time that you're out with your teammates. You're not one of them right now, and that's the way you really do feel. So this is a big night in a lot of ways for Chris Benson. And, you know, Aramis Ramirez, another part of the story, obviously, is penciled into the starting lineup, but boy, these aren't ideal conditions for somebody coming
either
off.
one of those guys.
Yeah, for people coming off injuries. You'd love it to be a warm, dry night, but we don't have those in Pittsburgh anymore. And it has been a very wet spring. You know what I noticed when I came to the ballpark, that Luke Yoder and the troops were mowing feverishly out, because this carpet is, you almost got to hear it growing with all the rain and some of the sun we've had. So they're constantly mowing because it's a thick track going in. And if they didn't mow it constantly, you know, if a ball stopped rolling, you might not find it for a while. So a lot of things going on tonight. But the biggest thing is that looking at the radar, we're hopeful that this stuff is going to push on through and we are going to play baseball at some point. It's going to be damp and it's going to be cold too. And that's just the way it is, folks, and we're going to do our best to get it in.
Jason Kendall always at the ready. This is what, of course, he does.
That looks like one of those sci-fi things that you look beyond the face and there's half a head back there.
Arnold
some
Schwarzenegger.
some wires and gears and stuff.
I'll be back.
I'll be back. He is back, but not all of them is back.
Yeah, Kendall lays that equipment out before every game.
Well, didn't we, when he was hurt, didn't they symbolically put up a uniform or some catching gear in the back of the dugout?
Three Rivers, yeah.
Three Rivers, by the way, that's the last time we did see Chris Benson in action, October 1st, as they put the lid on that stadium.
We've seen a lot of Curt Schilling. Saw him last week at Bank One Ballpark, the former Philly, and now with the Diamondbacks, the co-MVP along with Randy Johnson in last year's World Series. He's trying to continue his good work overall, but especially against the Pittsburgh Pirates over the years. Schilling 9-2 in his last 11 starts against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and if he is good and he is an example of what a good pitcher is all about, go back to his last start against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And we always say try to get the good guys early before they settle in. Well, Craig Wilson hit the 3-run home run in the first inning, and that's all the Pirates got. So they were not able to add on, and it took a while, but the Diamondbacks were able to come back and scored a run in the bottom of the 8th to win it 4-3.
Well, you get 3 runs to get Curt Schilling. That's got to be enough, because that's
you're probably not going to have a real good chance to add on, and if you don't, why, you're going to give them a lot of chances to come back.
Curt Schilling and Randy Johnson, they are among the league leaders in victories in the major leagues. Of course, we have seen Kaz Ishii, the Dodger rookie, Mark Burley of the White Sox, Paul Byrd having a bounce-back season, the veteran for the Kansas City Royals. But Schilling and Johnson, that has been the concern for Brenly, the fact that those two have combined for 13 of the 23 victories the Diamondbacks have overall this year. He's gotten good work of Miguel Batista since he has been back in the starting rotation, but you're not getting a whole heck of a lot out of the other guys. We'll see Brian Anderson tomorrow and Rick Helling on Wednesday night.
Yeah, we are seeing the other guys the rest of this series, and Rick Helling has given up a bunch of home runs. I think he's given up a dozen, which is close to the major league lead, and he's given up a bunch of runs. So you would like to have consistency all the way up and down a 5-man rotation, but if you got 2 horses, well, you know what the Atlanta Braves have done with 2 horses over the years. Strikeouts in the major leagues, well, guess who's on top? Curt Schilling, 84 strikeouts, Randy Johnson right behind him, and Schilling has put up those 84 strikeouts in just 59 innings. And the other real story of those 84 strikeouts is that he has issued 8 walks. So don't wait around for Curt Schilling to work deep in the count against you. You better get aggressive. And to put it in perspective, he has started 8 games. He has walked 8 batters. And Curt Schilling doesn't come out of many games after the 5th inning. So this is a pretty good indication of how good his control is. And all you got to know about Curt Schilling, he'll work upstairs with a fastball, downstairs with a forkball. And he'll show you the different locations up and down, and he'll show you the different speeds of the fastball and the forkball. So he is quite a handful to deal with.
So the Pirates 18-17. They are 2.5 back of the Cincinnati Reds. This is the first of a 3-game series against the Diamondbacks. The Bucks feel like they owe Arizona over the years since coming into the league. The Pirates just 10-24 overall against Arizona. Chris Benson, a rain-delayed start to his return but we do expect to play ball, just a matter of time. In fact, we'll invite you to stick around. In just a moment, we'll present Inside Pirates Baseball.
And I'll tell you one thing, rattlesnakes have never enjoyed wet weather. They like it warm and dry.
There you have it. And we will we will update you. Stay with us.
Don't forget it.
Inside Pirates Baseball's coming.
We're out of here.
And we'll update you. Get out of here.
Inside Pirates Baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Chevy. The cars you can depend on, the cars that last. We'll be there.
Steve.
Yeah, we've got a 9:10 scheduled start. That is what they're telling us the first pitch is going to be. And regardless of what time they start, it's going to be about a 30-degree temperature drop from what we originally expected at about 7:05. So it is going to be brisk and cool.
And, you know, I wonder whether the Pirates are considering now whether Benson should start tonight.
Or Ramirez should play.
Yeah.
You know, that is subject to change based on the conditions that they're going to be facing when they do throw the first pitch. I do know this, that in these kind of conditions, pitchers have the advantage. They love to throw. They stay strong. They're the ones that stay warm. So we'll see how that plays out. Curt Schilling will love it. You know that.
Well, you got to see this. That's coming up, and we'll be back in 20 minutes for the start of this ball game. Meanwhile, watch You Gotta See This. Before we left you for You Gotta See This about 20 minutes ago, wondering whether the Pirates might consider not starting Benson tonight under these poor conditions, but Benson is going to go and make his first start in a Pirates uniform since October 1st, 2000. There's no question that that guy was going to go, Curt Schilling.
Yeah, and you know, there's been a lot of speculation up in the press box area about the decision to have Chris Benson go. It is a calculated risk, and I had some people approach me and say, well, do you think this is a good idea? And I said, well, you know, the one side is you want to be real careful. The other side is if he's ready, he's ready. But it is a calculated risk.
Sure, Lloyd McClendon will be asked those questions
well, the thing
after
is
the game.
And you know, the Pirates downstairs have to be considering that question.
Oh, absolutely.
So they have made this decision, and maybe based on some things we're not even aware of. But he is going to be out there. And Greg, not to take it to a personal level, but I really enjoyed pitching in situations like this because I played a little mind game with myself that there might be somebody on the other side who is not real happy about this delay, disgruntled, I don't want to play this, lousy conditions, we've played it so long. And maybe it wasn't the case. Maybe nobody was thinking that way, but in my mind I was thinking that way, and it kind of motivated me that I might have a little advantage. And it was just a little mind game that I played, and I don't know whether it had any real validity or not.
He's such a competitor, it wouldn't be surprising at all if he's thinking that way. That's the type of pitcher he is.
And he might have lobbied really heavily to get out there saying, hey, if I'm right, I'm right.
Yeah.
If my arm is right, it's right. These are conditions. I got the long sleeve shirt. I'm going to warm up. I'm probably going to be the warmest guy out there. Pitchers always are. You know that guy is ready to compete, Curt Schilling. So it's a couple of hours late, but we're anxious to get ready to go.
Take a look now at the Chrysler starting lineup for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Have to look out for Danny Batista. He was 7 for 13 in that series last week at Bank One Ballpark. Craig Counsell at second base, Danny Batista in right, Luis Gonzalez in left. Steve Finley will be the cleanup man, then Damian Miller and Mark Grace. Chris Donald's at third, Tony Womack the shortstop, Curt Schilling on the mound. The big story, of course, is Chris Benson now.
Yep, the PNC scouting report, well, we can talk chapter and verse about Chris Benson. He's got great stuff, but will he be rusty? Well, yeah, he has had rehab starts at both Nashville and Altoona, but this is the big time. This big league hitters, a little different atmosphere, a little different set of circumstances, so we'll wait and see. Excited, absolutely. And I guess all you can say is welcome back, Chris Benson. It's good to see you out there in the middle of the mound. It's good to see number 34 getting ready to crank it up, and we'll hope that he gets off to a good start and gets his first inning under his belt.
Here's the Hyundai Pirates defense, led by Brian Giles in left. Chad Hermanson is in center field again. Armando Rios in right. Aramis Ramirez is in the starting lineup at third. Jack Wilson, the shortstop, with Rob Makoviak at second. Craig Wilson, the first baseman, and it's Kendall and Benson, the battery.
You know, one little feature as you take a look at Aramis Ramirez, and as good as it is to see number 34 in the middle of the diamond, it is great to see number 16 over at the corner. The Arizona Diamondbacks, as we said, a very good hitting ball club, but they are sneaky fast too. There's some good speed, and Chris Benson, among other things, is going to have to be aware of the fact that the first 4 guys at the top of this lineup will steal a base, and they have been around long enough. Even Gonzalez and Finley, veterans, will steal a base. If a pitcher gets careless, Counsell will do anything he can do to disrupt a ball game. He is that type of a player. So Chris is out there, and he will get this first pitch under his belt, and let's hope it all goes well. Let's keep our fingers crossed, too, that both of these key guys that are out there for the first time in quite a while have a healthy first go at it in less than ideal conditions. The field is going to be okay for both these guys. It's dry in the mound. It's going to be dry. It's been covered on the infield. So they should be all right from that standpoint.
Here we go. The first pitch for Chris Benson in 19 and a half months is a strike. And 94 on the gun.
There's that vehicle we were talking about.
27 years old, Chris Benson underwent Tommy John surgery May 22nd last year. 95 miles an hour. First game back since October the 1st when they closed down Three River Stadium. 63 starts in his 2-year career with the Bucks. #1 pick in the nation in 1996 out of Clemson. 2-1, missed outside with another fastball. 3 fastballs to Craig Counsell, who's at the top of the order. The slumping Tony Womack is dropped to 8. Junior Spivey is hurt, so he's not starting at second base this evening. 2-1 on Counsell. Grounded to Aramis Ramirez of all people. So, first test for Benson and Ramirez. They pass it. Brings up Danny Batista. Batista 5th in the league and hitting at .346.
And when we were in Arizona, he was the best hitter in the National League when he played in his home ballpark. Had the best home batting average. And we'll get him out of his neighborhood and see what happens.
Pitches inside with that fastball. We'll have to keep an eye on that pitch count. They will be very strict with that. The Pirates, it'll be just 95, no more, could be less. Benson will not go beyond 95 pitches. Broken bat, look out, Aramis Ramirez, roller to the shortstop, high throw, and Craig Wilson not able to bring it down. And that will be a base hit and an error on Wilson.
Why? Why a base hit?
Good throw, of course, gets him.
Comfortably.
Another look.
Check where the runner is. I mean, he's 2 steps away. Well, it is a moot point. What's interesting, you talk about 95, that's the number we've been seeing on most of the fastballs, and I don't think we've seen a breaking ball yet from Chris Benson. He'll throw both a curve and a slider, change.
6th error of the year on Jack Wilson. Now Benson from the stretch to face Luis Gonzalez, batting .250 with 7 homers and 21 runs batted in. Ball 1 on Gonzo. Had a career year last season. Finished 3rd behind Bonds and Sosa in the MVP balloting. A drive to right. Back is Rios and gone. On the 1-0 pitch, Luis Gonzalez hits his 8th home run of the year, and it's 2-0 Arizona.
Well, there's the short porch at PNC effect. That ball didn't look like it was hit all that well, but it just kept carrying, and you could tell by the initial action of Armando Rios that he was not going to catch the ball, and then it was just a matter of how far it did carry. Is this a breaking ball? It is. Curve ball that he goes down, gets under, and gives it the lift for the 2-run home run.
Strike on Steve Finley, hitting .243 with 9 homers and 17 runs batted in. He took a fastball, 0-1 on Finley.
So the so-called base hit adds to the damage here in the first inning. I wouldn't have been really surprised on that call, except for the fact that Jack Wilson makes that play every day.
0-2. Left field toward the line. Giles with just enough room to make the catch for the second out. Giles chuckles at something a fan passes on to him. 2 outs, brings up Damian Miller, the catcher. Chris Benson was 10-12 in the year 2000, his second year in the big leagues. He had a 3.85 earned run average in 32 starts. It's fouled out of play.
Damian Miller has bulked up, and so has his RBI total, 23. That's good offensive production from veteran catcher. There's the good Benson slider. There's the test, whether you've got a good arm, bad arm, hot weather, cold weather. The slider strains the muscles and connective tissue in the elbow.
Strike at the knees, got him looking, but the 2-run homer by Luis Gonzalez. And it is 2-0 as the Pirates come to bat against Curt Schilling. Welcome back. Bottom of the first inning. Bob Brenly's World Series champion Arizona Diamondbacks, and this is the Dodge starting lineup for the Pirates. Chad Hermanson, his second straight start in center field. Rob Makoviak at second base with Brian Giles in left. Aramis Ramirez, he's back in the cleanup spot. Then Armando Rios, Jason Kendall, Craig Wilson at first, Jack Wilson the shortstop, and Chris Benson.
Their mound opponent, Curt, is currently king of the hill for Major League pitchers. He's #1 in the majors in wins and strikeouts. He'll throw you high fastballs with plenty of heat, and then the fork ball down. That should be fork ball, not fastball down. And you make your move early on Curt Schilling because, well, we got a prime example of that. 3-run home run by Craig Wilson last week in Arizona early, and that's all they got. They did not add on, and it eventually cost them with a 4-3 loss. He is 7-1. He is 12-6 against the Pirates in his career, and he is ready to go.
Strike one on Chad Hermanson.
He starts it off the same way Benson did, 94-mile-an-hour fastball. And keep this in mind, be aggressive. 8 starts, he's walked 8 batters. That's a total, folks.
He's given up 8 homers. He gives them up a lot. This is fouled off by Chad Hermanson, 0-2. Hermanson was 1 for 3 yesterday against the Houston Astros. He also walked a couple of times and stole a pair of bases.
Kind of appropriate. We've got a couple strikeout pitchers out on the mound on the 50th anniversary when Ron Netchai struck out 27 in the game.
Remember that name? We'll be asked in our Aflac trivia question later about it. There's a swing and a miss. Chad Hermanson down. 1, 2, 3 goes Hermanson. Take a look at the defense. Brought to you by Pepsi. Craig Counsell moves from third to second. Donalds and Womack on the left side. Mark Grayson first. Gonzalez, Finley, Batista left to right. Damian Miller does the catching for Schilling. Fastball, Makoviak at second base. Pokey Reese gets the night off. Makoviak's numbers on the year. He was 2 for 8 in the 3-game series against the Diamondbacks last week.
There's the fork ball downstairs. Isn't there a TV show, Upstairs, Downstairs?
Schilling will throw that pitch at any time that count. Very close, 96 on the gun. We hear a lot of glove popping tonight.
Yeah, this can be a little bit of that old-fashioned backyard hardball stuff. One of his best quotes, and Curt has a lot of them. I love the fastball. I love the fastball, and he's proven it for a lot of years.
Stays a ball and 2 strikes.
But it's not been without an odyssey, starting out in Baltimore and then going to Houston and they used him out of the bullpen. In fact, he saved 8 games when he came from Baltimore to Houston and then on to Philadelphia, where he really kicked his career in gear, and went to Arizona for the championship.
2-2 now on Makoviak. Kurt Schilling was originally signed as a second-round pick in 1986 by the Boston Red Sox. Dealt to the Orioles along with Brady Anderson for Mike Boddicker in 1988. Foul tip, catcher holds on, strikeout number 2 for Schilling. Brings up Brian Giles.
9 Ks for Schilling in the 4-3 win at Bank One Ballpark last week.
Giles' average, you can see it's starting to come down. He needed Ramirez in that lineup. Ramirez is on deck.
Organized crime. Need a little protection there.
High fastball to Giles. Schilling was traded with Pete Harnish and Steve Finley to the Astros for Glenn Davis. That deal did not work out for Baltimore. That occurred in January of '91. Davis had back problems, never was the same old first baseman. Strike is called.
The high strike to Brian Giles.
Giles in the midst of a 1-for-19 slump since his home run against Randy Johnson. Big breaking ball, strike.
That's the 3rd pitch of his package. The high fastball, the forkball downstairs, and then the overhand curve.
Randy Johnson will not pitch this series. Missed away. 2-2 on Brian Giles.
Kurt Schilling, in an interview I did with him in Arizona, said his favorite time as a major league starter is 30 minutes after a win, and you can savor it.
In the dirt. Appeal. Oh, says third base umpire Jeff Kellogg.
Kurt says nobody can really appreciate it like a starting pitcher who has a win and then that 30 minutes of euphoria after winning a major league ball game. He said it's never gone away. And he said it's especially sweet if it happens in October.
That is cracked to right field. Hit hard over quickly is Danny Batista. Giles on the 3-2 pitch singles to right, and now it is Aramis Ramirez.
3-2 pitch, looking for a fastball, gets it, gets a base hit.
Ramirez, 340 on the year, 6 runs batted in. This is his first start since April the 17th. When he charged the mound against Ben Sheets, threw his helmet at the Brewers pitcher and then Fracas, and he was at the bottom of the pile and got his ankle twisted. Pirates have missed his offensive production. Defense has been great at third, but offensively, that third base position has produced just a .225 average in his absence, with a couple of homers and 7 runs batted in. One 1-0 on Aramis Ramirez. One ball, one strike.
First couple pitches, Kurt Schilling stays away from the fastball to Aramis Ramirez, figuring that Pirate third baseman is going to be looking for just that.
Benjamin and Rob Makoviak looking on in the Pirates dugout. One ball, one strike. Lays off.
Another non-fastball.
Talked to Lloyd McClendon yesterday about Aramis Ramirez. A lot of players in the big leagues would, after missing a month, would go down and spend at least a couple, 3 games getting some at-bats in the minor leagues. But Ramirez is such a special player. McClendon said, I really don't know how he does it. 2-1, 2 outs. 2-2. Home plate umpire Jerry Meals called that one a strike. Lloyd McClendon happy to have Aramis Ramirez return.
Mark Grace talking to Brian Giles. It's impossible to stay out of a conversation if you're a runner at first base and Mark Grace is playing first. I mean, you're just going to talk things over.
Oh, Schilling strikes out the side. PK's Hermanson, Makoviak, and Ramirez after 1 inning. It's the Diamondbacks 2, the Pirates nothing at PNC Park. Welcome back to PNC Park. Roberto Clemente looking on. 2-0 Arizona. Chris Benson in his second inning of work. Faces Mark Grace. He's slumping in his second year with Arizona. .225 average early. 4 homers, 15 runs batted in. Grace was 2 for 8 in that 3-game series. He is the one opposing player tonight that last faced Chris Benson. Grace as a member of the Cubs on October 1st, year 2000 at Three Rivers. In fact, he had a 2-run double in the very first inning of that ball game off Chris Benson.
And what is the other name we remember from that game?
Boy.
The home run.
Oh, John Wayner, of course.
The Rock.
Right?
Yep.
Who'd he hit that off? Remember?
Mark Grace.
John Lieber.
John Lieber.
Benson actually didn't pitch all that well that afternoon in front of over 55,000 at
It's kind
Three
of a
Rivers Stadium.
raggedy final
It really
score,
was, wasn't it?
9-8 or something like that.
10-9, Chicago won it. Benson, 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs that day, 9 Ks. And there's a drive toward the gap in right center. Late start by Rios, but he makes the catch in right center field.
That was a very late start, and it had 2 bad early signs, the late start and a possible collision. All's well that ends well. They catch the ball and they don't bump into each other. Going to see Hermanson skid underneath. That was nicely choreographed, but not by design.
It is a pretty looking play, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah. You could wind up with 2 concussions, but yeah, it does look pretty.
Here's Chris Donalds.
Really, Hermanson couldn't give up on the play because he was aware of the fact that Rios got a late start. He had to be over there in case.
Donalds gets the start at third base tonight. Matt Williams still on the shelf.
So he did have a pin removed from that bad left foot. And that is one of the big steps for him to come back, and they expect him back later on in the season.
2-0 on Donalds. That's a strike.
He's at third. Counsell was at third because Spivey was healthy, and you say Spivey's down with an injury, so Counsell, who can move around and play just about anywhere, goes over to second to cover for Spivey.
Spivey's injury not considered serious. There's a fastball 2-2. Benson got the first out, hitting Craig Counsell to ground out, and gave up what was ruled an infield hit, and Gonzalez homered to make it 2-0. Chris Benson started the season at extended spring. This is high, 3-2. April the 5th, he pitched his first game live action against Sacramento as a member of the Nashville Sounds, and then 5 days later made another start. Fouled out of play. Then there was a little bit of concern following that start. Benson felt some uneasiness in the forearm, so he flew back to Pittsburgh, was re-examined, got the okay, went back, picked up on April the 27th with another start for Nashville. He walks Donalds on the 3-2 pitch.
I think the operational word was forearm and not elbow, and that was kind of the key that made us feel a little bit better.
Join Guy Junker and Pat Paris after the game. Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. Rob King. Live player interviews from the field. Chad Hermanson talks about getting another chance with the Bucks, and Fox Sports Net's Lisa Guerrero is in town. You'll find out why. That's all after the game on Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. I'd like to find out.
That's
why.
Enough. That's enough.
Tony Womack takes ball 1.
Tony's back in the Berg.
Yep. In the midst of an 0 for 14 slump.
Tony telling us in Phoenix that he's always been kind of a sluggish first half player, and well, he backed that up by having a big second half last year in their run to the championship.
2-0. Womack was a big part of that championship. A huge hit in Game 7 of the World Series against the Yankees.
Was that against their man out of the bullpen?
Mariano Rivera.
Yep.
2-0. And it's 3-0. Pirates expect Chris Benson to have his peaks and valleys. Typical of a guy returning from major reconstructive elbow surgery. Sometimes he's not going to be sharp. Strike is called.
Well, people will say, well, he had all the rehab starts at AAA and AA. He should be okay. Well, it's a different atmosphere, different set of circumstances. The adrenaline is a little different. And he's psyched to pitch in those live ball games, but I don't think it compares with what he's feeling and how he's trying to extend himself tonight.
Bouncing ball could be 2. Tough against Womack, and they won't get it. With the lead man.
One of those plays where Jack Wilson had to make a decision of whether to go to Makoviak for the pivot at second base or slide over and take the play himself. You'll notice that he is fairly close, but I think he made the right decision. He would have had to take 2 or perhaps even 3 steps to take that play by himself, and that would have cost him the play at first anyway.
Here is Schilling, who had a really big hit in that game against Kip Wells. The Pirates had a 3-0 lead. There were 2 outs in the ball in that particular inning. Schilling was facing Kip Wells, who was looking to get out of it unscathed, but Schilling singled in the 4th inning to bring home the first run for Arizona.
Yep, that was the key. That started their comeback, and it was a step-by-step process for the Diamondbacks, but they eventually got that run in the bottom of the 8th that sent them ahead, and then Mr. Kim, I believe, shut it down with much extreme prejudice in the 9th inning. Is that the strikeout the side game for Kim?
Well, actually, I think that was the game, Steve, that Kim ended up walking the bases loaded.
Okay.
Remember Kendall hit that ground ball back to the pitcher, and instead of going to 3rd, he went to 2nd.
Yes, yes.
With runners at 1st and 2nd at that point. But he got out of it.
Yeah,
Kim did get the save.
It was later, I think, that he did the side in order.
0-2 on Schilling. And that should be a double play. Well, or just 1 out. That's all you need. Don't need a double play when you have 2 outs.
We don't need no stinking double play.
Play goes 6-3. Armando Rios will lead off. They love Fox Sports Net.
You know, they just have a feature up on the bulletin board, and they do it every night. Mullet moments, where they take 3 celebrities and they show them regular, and then with the mullets, the hairdo down the back. I don't understand why they haven't done the original mullet yet, the best of all, Jaromir Jagr. That is Mr. Mullet.
Yep. Friday, May 24th is visor night, whether you have a mullet or not. Get a visor here at PNC Park. Pirates hosting the Cardinals. All fans get a Pittsburgh Pirates visor courtesy of Fox Sports Net. For tickets, call toll free 877-893 bucks. Visit PittsburghPirates.com or come down to the PNC Park ticket office. 877-893 bucks.
You know, you can make it a mullet visor by putting one of those desert strips down the back, you know, protect the back of your neck from
Perfect.
the sun. That
Yeah.
would be your
That's a good idea.
ideal mullet visor.
Rich Fuhr of Slippery Rock is our Giant Eagle home run hitters contestant. Armando Rios still looking for his first Pirate homer. Hitting .270 with 9 runs batted in. Be followed by Kendall and Craig Wilson. Popped out of play, left side. One and one on Rios. 3 for 7 in that 3-game series against the Diamondbacks. Arizona won 2 out of 3. Pirates really had a chance to sweep the world champs, especially when they got that home run off Schilling the very first inning. The Craig Wilson 3-run first inning dinger.
Forkball downstairs. Different terminology for that pitch. A split finger pitch, forkball. It is the off-speed companion to the high fastball. There it is again.
Schilling has been a horse over the years.
Chews up innings. Gets you deep into ball games. Gives your ball club a chance to win most nights. He's going to start 35 or so ball games. He's going to give you a chance to win a bunch of them.
And another strikeout, 4 Ks for Schilling.
And that is Curt Schilling strategy 101. 2 split finger pitches downstairs and then the fastball to buzz you. The fastball after the off-speed stuff. All she wrote.
Here is Jason Kendall hitting .269 with a homer and 12 runs batted in. He bounces this one on the right side. Cut off nicely by Grace. Schilling to the bag.
Pitcher's best friend, good defense as Mark Grace kind of slashes that one down into the glove.
He won't win any more Gold Gloves, but he's still a good one.
Puts the big claw around the leather, and then he's been around a long time. Knows that he can lead his pitcher, who he expects to be over there. The veteran Schilling is, and that's a nice looking 3-1 play. And that's as long of a throw as you're going to have from a first baseman to a pitcher.
See him, nice play to Mark Grace, the 4-time Gold Glove winner. Here's Craig Wilson. Strike 1.
That's also a couple of veterans that know the other guy knows how to play the game. In other words, Grace has the confidence to go get that ball because he knows Schilling has been around long enough. His responsibility is to be over there.
Craig Wilson, you see, on a career high 7-game hitting streak. And he's getting a lot of playing time both in right field and first base. In fact, he has started at first base for the Pirates now in 6 of the Bucks' last 11 games. Two outs in the second inning. A 2-0 Arizona lead. Missed by a whole lot. Schilling wanted it. 2-2.
The Diamondbacks have been very discourteous guests in this city. 9-4.
Stays 2-2 on Craig Wilson. Count. Oh my. Maybe a makeup call there.
Schilling gets the call on the low fastball, and that retires the side. 2 innings for Schilling, 5 strikeouts. Here's number 5.
Wow.
And that's all you need to see. 2-0 Arizona.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Dodge. Get somewhere. Grab life by the horns. Dodge. And by UPMC. Choose your healthcare as if your life depended on it.
Chris Benson's return tonight. The Pirates trailing at 2-0 after 2 innings.
But, 33 pitches for Mr. Benson. So that's what, 16, 17 an inning. That translates into that kind of pace of about a 6-inning performance. So if he gets a little more efficient, it could extend it, perhaps.
Craig Counsell grounded out his first time. Thought about bunting. Takes the ball in the dirt. Two 2-0 Arizona. That's fouled out of play. Chris Benson last year in March pitched a combined 5 shutout innings in his first 2 starts of the Grapefruit League schedule, and then on March the 10th, a game against the Minnesota Twins, he felt something was wrong with that elbow. They tried a couple of times to do some rehabbing, resting. Finally, on May the 22nd, he underwent season-ending reconstructive elbow surgery. Dr. James Andrews in Birmingham, Alabama performed it. 3-1 now the count on Craig Counsell. Steve, you wonder how many guys back in your day, if they had known about what turned out to be Tommy John surgery. Dr. Frank Jobe performed it in 1974. Tommy John, the former Dodger left-hander, lined into the gap in right center.
You know that's 2 bases for Counsell. He just his motor doesn't stop running. He put a ball into short right field when we were in Phoenix that Rob Makoviak kind of casually played, and all of a sudden, instead of a single straight at him, it was a double.
So the leadoff 2-base hit brings up Danny Batista. It's the Best Damn Sports Show, period, with host Chris Rose, Tom Arnold, and a bunch of ex-jocks. The only show that gives you sports comedy, commentary, scores, and highlights. Kick back, relax, enjoy the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Weeknights at 8 and 11 only on Fox Sports Net.
Period.
See, Lisa had to get back to push those carts. Give it a kick there at the end.
I think I prefer Pedro Guerrero. I think he's had some better years. He's had a better career.
Better career than Lisa Guerrero.
Yeah.
Batista hits this one into center field, a base hit. They'll hold the runner at third. The throw comes in from Chad Hermanson, and the Diamondbacks have runners at the corners with no one out. Brings up Luis Gonzalez. A double for Counsell, a single for Batista. Gonzalez hit the 2-run homer off the Benson curve in the first inning.
No reason to risk sending Counsell in. Eddie Rodriguez holding him up. They get the big part of their lineup coming up. They already have a 2-run lead, nobody out. Keep Counsell at third and see what happens. Wise Counsell.
Strike 1 on Gonzalez.
What'll be interesting too as we move through the early part of this ball game with Chris Benson is to see how the velocity holds up. He came out throwing 93, 94, 95, and we'll monitor that as we go along.
Back.
The main thing is to get him out here, because this is a big step. Now you get beyond the start for Chris Benson tonight. Now he can start to work into a program. I mean, this is almost like a youngster making his major league debut, in the sense that you're not going to judge it a whole lot. I mean, you're going to watch it, you're going to see what you can find out, see what you can pick up, but you're not going to make lasting judgments based on what he does tonight.
It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Luis Gonzalez. It usually does take about a year on the field. About a full year before you're back to where you had been before the surgery.
Yeah, so you're talking about basically a 2-year program. Get healthy and then get good again.
So to first, the runner returned safely.
A year to get healthy and a year to get good. Pirates playing back, they'd give up a run for a ground ball at somebody right now.
1-2 on Luis Gonzalez. Takes the ball, didn't miss by a lot either. 2-2.
Perhaps we might have gotten a nice call like Mr. Schilling did. Second. But you know what Tom Hanks said, there's no whining in baseball.
Whining?
We move on. This is now the top of the 3rd inning. That pitch is gone.
2-2. Stroked into left center field. Sharply hit by Luis Gonzalez. It's 3-0. And they'll have runners at second and third as the throw unwisely went toward third base, though Gonzalez probably would have had a double anyway. Now it's second and third with nobody out. As Counsell scores, Batista to third. Gonzalez is 2 for 2 and 3 RBIs on the night.
This is the Luis Gonzalez we saw last year. Now Spin Williams will head out and talk with Benson.
Hard hit balls.
The home run that Gonzalez hit was off a breaking ball. I'm not so sure this was something other than the fastball too, as Brian Giles comes up. And as Gonzalez makes the turn at first, he's got that entire play in front of him so he can see what the action is and get comfortably into second base.
Spin Williams talking to Chris Benson. Mason Kendall there. Talked about Tommy John surgery. 1974 was when it was first performed on then Dodgers pitcher Tommy John, and the last couple of years these are just some of the pitchers who've undergone that major reconstructive surgery. And as you can see the names on there, they have rebounded. David Wells' surgery occurred before his first pro year with the Toronto Blue Jays.
That'd be a pretty good pitching staff right there.
Yeah.
Look at the guy at the bottom of the list, Gagne. What a job he does these days for the Los Angeles Dodgers. John Smoltz went from a world-class starter to a closer and doing a good job at it. Pretty impressive list. You're right, back in my day, a lot of pitchers did not pitch anymore. They said that they retired, result of a bad arm.
That's popped up. That should not score the run. Left field, Giles comes in and drops the ball. And the run will score. On the air, on the left fielder, make it 4-0.
Brian came in a long way, but just simply reached up and missed the ball.
It is 4-0, and now the batter Damian Miller. He struck out looking in the first inning. Inside on Miller. Ron Malone has started to warm in the Pirates bullpen. Benson is due up second in the third inning. First and second, no one out. Ground ball to short. 6. Oh my goodness. Oh my. He drops the ball for the third error of the game by the Pirates. We're only in the third inning. Fielder's choice E4.
This was as tailor-made a double play as you're going to find. And the ball pops out of the glove of Rob Makoviak. There's no real way or need to analyze these last two plays. They've dropped the ball.
Now the base is loaded, nobody out. Mark Grace. Makoviak making his first start this season, second base, looking into that glove.
Well, he won't find the answer in there, and he won't find the ball.
2-0. Certainly not the storybook return for Chris Benson we had hoped for.
This
the weather.
Yeah, this
the
night
2-hour
started
delay.
out kind of sloppy, and well, it hadn't got much better.
Jeez. base.
And from all the equipment we saw being set up tonight, the whole universe is watching.
Yeah.
If they're still with us, and this is not a great performance by the Pirates.
Ground ball. Wilson to the plate. Out there.
They'll get the Bronx cheer, but it does get the lead man.
You held your breath, seeing if the Pirates are going to get one out on that one. Force at the plate goes 3-2. And now it's Chris Donalds. Base is still loaded.
There's just one out. Get a double play here and don't let the ball game get completely out of hand. Although it has some extremely ragged edges at this point.
Strike one.
There are no concerns at all, I'm sure, by the Arizona Diamondbacks about this whole scenario. The late start, Ramos Ramirez in, Benson in. They're going tooth and nail with the San Francisco Giants in the National League West. They've got enough on their plate. Mr. Gonzalez and company, obviously hoping to repeat, get a chance to get in the big show again.
Fly ball to right. Rios back at the wall, off the top of the wall. Extra bases. Runners at second and third. And only because Mark Grace couldn't pick up the ball was not a bases clearing double by Chris Donalds.
And he had to kind of wait and see what the runner in front of him was going to do. And now it starts to get out of hand here in the top of the third inning. This ball did not miss going out by much. And one of the rare times you get the big bounce off. You got a lot of screen work out there that will kill a big bounce, but this one hits a harder surface and bounces halfway back into the infield, and the Diamondbacks add on with a 4-spot now hung up in the third, and they're looking for more.
Jeez, now the intentional walk to Womack. Donalds, a 2-run double off the wall, scoring Finley and Miller, and yeah, Grace kind of holding up to see what Miller was doing. Now talking to anybody that'll listen over there at third. Bases loaded for Kurt Schilling. Pirates have really looked sloppy, and now the Diamondbacks have given Kurt Schilling a 6-0 lead. Problem with walking Womack intentionally, he's been struggling, hitting .234, 0 for his last 15. You don't get a double play here, you have to face Counsell. You know how tough he's been. 1-1.
You got Kurt Schilling up there, who's big and strong, and he's just tagging on for the tail end of the ride here, or continuing the ride in the top of the third, just swinging away in case he runs into one. He's a pitcher up there with a bat, but he's not automatic.
6, 4, 3.
Okay. That was better.
9 men come to the plate. 4 score. It is 6-0. Well, Chris Benson is going to bat. We saw Lloyd McClendon talking to him before he went to the plate. I wonder. I don't know. I'm just wondering what he would have said. Wilson gets on, we need you to bunt, or could he possibly have said, you're going to hit, but you're not going to go back out there. We'll have to try to find out how many pitches he's thrown, because he's thrown a lot through 3.
They had to throw around 20 or.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's only thrown
Well,
relatively speaking.
33. That's almost.
He's thrown 62 pitches then.
That's almost 30 pitches in that inning.
Yeah.
Yeah, 33 going in.
So he's thrown 62.
You know, he might have also told him, listen, don't be concerned with what's going on. We want you to get your work in, get on the other side of this experience, and we'll go from there. That's also a possibility.
Well, if you'd like to contact any of the announcers or production team with your questions or comments during a Pirates telecast, log on to foxsports.com on Lycos. Keyword Pirates Booth. We'll try to respond to a few selected messages every telecast, time permitting. That's foxsports.com on Lycos. Keyword Pirates Booth as Wilson tries to bunt his way on against Schilling and fouls it off.
Now, what you might see now is an example of a veteran pitcher going to the whip. Curt Schilling will try to stay somewhat with the game plan, but his main priority is going to be throw a lot of strikes, pour the ball in there, and if he gets burned with a solo home run, so be it. He's been down that road before, but he knows he's got a 6-run lead. He always throws strikes, and you can see a whole lot of pitches in the strike zone. And you can see it upstairs there where it's tough to catch up to. It is a learned art how to pitch with a lead in the big leagues.
Oh, 0-2 on Jack Wilson.
And every experienced pitcher will tell you, I don't want to deviate too much from my game plan, but my main priority is strikes. Don't give people anything when you've got them down like this. It seems like Schilling's main priority always is strikes, with his strikeout to walk ratio being so fantastic. Coming in 84 strikeouts, 8 walks. And it doesn't get much better than that.
Look into the glove of Curt Schilling.
Okay, he'll take the forkball grip into the glove.
It's hit hard to right center field by Jack Wilson, but catch made. Nicely done by Danny Batista, who got a good jump.
The reason that sometimes pitchers will go into the glove with a certain grip is because if they get the signal for that pitch, they can keep it. And if they get a signal for another pitch, it's easier for them to translate that grip into the other pitch rather than have a fastball grip and try to translate and transfer the grip into a forkball grip. That's just a comfort thing. I always took a curveball grip into the glove because I could change to a fastball grip easier than the other way around. It's just kind of a comfort thing for pitchers. When the wrist is kind of straight across like that, usually you're spreading the fingers and getting kind of a forkball grip. If you're a fastball grip, the wrist would be laying down probably a little bit more. Now that, again, is speculation. We don't know exactly if that's the case, but that can be the theory. I know there are a lot of pitchers that will start with a particular grip because they can adjust better from that one.
Broken bat, one hopper. Counsel on to first to get Benson. Two outs. Now Chad Hermanson. Benson, a 123 career hitter. Hermanson struck out in the first inning. Chad Hermanson was batting 196 at AAA Nashville on his rehab with 4 homers, 9 runs batted in.
Schilling has one complete game on the season. It was a 2-0 shutout over Milwaukee, his second start of the year. You look down at his list of starts, innings pitched. 7, 9, 7, 6 is the shortest, 8, 7, 7, and then 8 last time out against the Pirates. That looks like a slider that you don't see very often, or a little bit of a cut on the fastball perhaps. It's 89 miles an hour, which is faster than the curve, slower than the fastball.
2-1 on Chad Hermanson with the Pirates trailing Schilling and the Diamondbacks 6-0 in the third. Diving stop at third by Donalds. He gets to his feet and he throws out Hermanson.
Tale of two different teams tonight.
Jeez,
at this point.
yeah.
After 3 innings, it's the Arizona Diamondbacks playing very well and the Pirates not playing so good.
You're watching Pirates baseball only on Fox Sports Net. Now that is one of the lounges in the club boxes.
Candy and Ott, we just saw a lot of them in the 79 highlight stuff.
I don't know, is that the home plate club, I believe? I don't know. Heck, I should know.
Up
The
on the
Pittsburgh
club level.
Baseball Club. That's the Pittsburgh Baseball Club. There's Beer Bowers and Gunners and the Pittsburgh Baseball Club.
And they're all nice places.
Lined into right center by Counsell. Pesky. Counsell.
Yeah, good too.
Aflac trivia question now. Which former Pirate tossed a no-hitter with 27 strikeouts on this date in 1952?
I guess I did a bad thing when I was talking about this gentleman earlier, but it's not a bad thing. Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
He was a minor leaguer when he did it
Yep.
in the Pirates system, but he would eventually go to the Pirates. And John Saraceno of USA Today had a real nice piece on this guy if you were watching it, reading it today.
Pirate woes continue. The wild pitch sends Counsell up to second base. The interesting thing is he struck out 27. The next start he struck out 24 for a 2-game total of 51, which would have to get the interest of Pirate brass in Pittsburgh when this young man accomplished these things in the minor leagues way back in 1952. Described as maybe the greatest single feat in baseball.
Over the mound, second baseman Makoviak on to first. Counsell goes to third on that bouncer. The first out here in the fourth inning with the Diamondbacks leading 6-0. Brings up Luis Gonzalez, who has homered and double driven in 3. And they're going to bring the infield in against Luis Gonzalez,
which probably delights the Arizona left fielder. Studies have proven that your average goes up almost 100 points if the infield is bought in. Easier for a ball to get through for a base hit. There aren't too many things that aren't studied in this game anymore and kept track of.
Shallow left center field. That drops in for a hit. And an RBI for Gonzalez. 4 ribbies.
I'm with Gonzo tonight. Yeah. That's when you're going good. Even the flares drop in. You got a drawn up infield. That little flare is no problem at all to drop on the grass. Another thing they keep track of and study is the fact that you draw a conclusion from the statistic. If you make 3 errors in a ball game, you're not going to win too many of them.
Steve Finley has flied out, reached on one of those errors, dropped a ball that was dropped by Brian Giles. Sloppy third inning. Foul territory. Ramos Ramirez is over and has room. Puts it away for out number 2 here in the fourth.
You know what happens, and we've talked about this before, when your ball club plays this kind of game, and it's going to happen. Every ball club plays these types of ball games, is that after you make a lot of errors, you start holding your breath as we sit up here and watch. Well, it's no different from your pitchers. And that's the only danger. If you do it continually, game after game, and have that kind of stretch, your pitchers start holding their breath, and then they start thinking they've got to make perfect pitches and strike everybody out and that sort of thing. And that's not the kind of frame of mind you want your pitchers to be in. So if it happens just very rarely, well, that's kind of what happens to every team.
That is hit on the line into right center field. Rio's trying to cut it off. He and Hermanson bump as the throw comes into the relay man. A double for Damian Miller. 9 hits for the Diamondbacks.
And I don't think Lloyd McClendon will watch too much more of this from Chris Benson. Yep, the experience of getting back and starting a game and getting his feet wet again is what you want to have for this right-hander, but we'll see how much Mac wants to let him go through this.
Ball 1. Do we have a pitch count? 71.
There's a pitch count when you're pitching well, and then there's a pitch count when you're not pitching well. And
oh yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
you're not going to let him.
You adjust.
It doesn't mean
program.
he has to go to 95 pitches.
Yep.
It just means he can't go past 95. He can certainly go much less. There does come a time when you've got to say enough is enough. He might be facing Mark Grace and only Mark Grace.
Yeah, there's a positive reinforcement, and then there's negative reinforcement. You don't need a whole basket full of that for Chris tonight.
Two and one on Mark Grace. That is lined into left center field. That scores 2 more. That should do it. And it will. For Chris Benson. He will leave trailing 9-0. 2 of those runs in the 3rd inning were unearned, but the bottom line is that, and McClendon's trying to tell him, hey, it's great to have you back on the mound, basically.
Yep, you got your work in,
Yep.
and we'll go from here.
Chris Benson leaves with a new pitcher coming on. Benson is back. The Pirates trail 9-0.
So, yeah, welcome back to Chris Benson, but he'll look for better days. It didn't go, it was not a classic success for Chris, but now he's on the other side of that. Really not trying to rationalize a night where he really got kicked around.
That's the bottom line. He got whacked around, but he can look forward to Saturday's start against the Astros in Houston under better conditions and I'm sure better results as Ron Vallone comes on.
He made his last start when we were in Arizona, the middle game of that 3-game series, working out of the bullpen. There are the numbers for Ron. Chris Benson, 3 2/3 innings to this point, 9 runs. They were earned on 10 hits. He is responsible for Mark Grace at first base.
So 7 of those 9 earned against Benson as Donalds takes a strike. Ron Vallone, who has spent a lot of time in his career coming out of the bullpen. Fly ball, shallow center, second baseman Makoviak out. Hermanson makes the catch.
Wow.
So, go to the bottom of the 4th. Pirates need a few runs.
And we welcome you back to PNC Park. The Arizona Diamondbacks behind Curt Schilling leading 9-0. Giving Schilling 9 runs early in a ball game was like giving Judge Roy Bean a 30-foot length of rope for his birthday, the hanging judge.
Well, Saturday, May 25th is Action Sports Day. The Pirates host the Cardinals at 7:05. Enjoy live entertainment, games, activities, a whole lot more beginning at 4 o'clock right outside the ballpark on Federal Street. For tickets, call toll-free 877-893-BUCKS. Visit PittsburghPirates.com for your ticket needs, or come down to the PNC Park ticket office.
Interactive inflatables.
Strike on Makoviak.
Something to think about when you're behind 9-0. Makoviak, Giles, and Aramis Ramirez. Again, that line for Benson: 3 2/3, 9 runs, 7 earned. 2 unearned runs in the third.
Makoviak, Giles, Ramirez. Wow. He has struck out 6.
That gives him 90 on the year to extend his major league lead.
Speaking of strikeouts, let's get to that Aflac trivia question. Which former Pirate tossed a no-hitter? 27 strikeouts on this date 50 years ago.
Still lives in the Pittsburgh area. Ron Netchai. 1952. Ron Netchai is a member of the Pirate alumni. Ron Netchai is probably one of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet. He is good company. He is a good golfing companion. He is a super, super good person. Good friend.
What a feat.
What's
Absolutely
interesting,
incredible.
to put a little frosting on the cake, he struck out 4 in the 9th inning. He went into the 9th inning with 23 because there had been a ground out, and a drop third strike created the opportunity for him to take the total to 27. I did not know that part of the story. Ball fouled back. I thought it had just been a straight 27 out of 27, but there was a ground out earlier, and the drop third strike in the 9th allowed him to get 4 strikeouts on the last inning. That's putting a lid on
That
it,
is
isn't it?
unbelievable.
I mean, what if you're on the other team? He struck out 23 already, and said, "Oh,
Strikes out the first
at
2
least-
guys in the
At least he can't
ninth.
get 27," and yet he did.
Incredible. Strikes out the first 2 in the 9th, but catcher Harry Dunlop charged with that pass ball. And then he goes on and strikes out number 27. And Netchai, according to the story today in the USA Today, said that he was asked, hey, do you know that you just struck out 27 guys? And he basically said, so what? Baseball's been played for well over 100 years. Somebody has to have done it. He signed the ball, says it went on his merry way. And as Steve said, the next start, Netchai strikes out 24, so 51 Ks in back-to-back games.
Kurt Schilling would like that story.
Rocket Ron. Oh, his first start in the big leagues against the Cubs at Forbes Field. Arm problems for Netchai limited him to only 12 big league games. 9 starts. Ended up just 1 and 6, but man, what an unbelievable feat for back-to-back games.
Harry Dunlop was a coach, major league coach for the Cincinnati Reds for several years. And about 5 or 6 or 7 years ago, they got together at a festival commemorating that thing, or a special night in Bristol. Yeah, that is special stuff for a pretty special guy. Schilling working in the bottom of the 4th with a 9-0 lead.
What a strike. He has punched out 6.
Has shown the usual efficient control, no walks. Get some help there with the split finger pitch downstairs in the dirt under the strike zone. Strikeout number 7, and that cleans up the bottom of the 4th in very efficient fashion. 9-0 Snakes.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the expressed written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates. It is 9-0. Yeah, it's like Steelers weather. It is cold enough where you could be playing football, no question about that. Here it is May the 13th. We had a 2-hour rain delay. We had Chris Benson's return, but unfortunately the Diamondbacks and some poor Pirates fielding spoiled Benson's return. Tony Womack walked intentionally his last time, grounded out in his first at bat. 9-0 Arizona. That's fouled off. Pirates start today trailing the first place Cincinnati Reds by 2.5 games, and Cincinnati is shutting out Milwaukee at Miller Park 4-0.
Bob Brenly, not a bad debut as a major league manager.
1-2. He's glad to see his offense scoring some runs with some help from the Pirates, because that has been a concern of the D-backs of late. They lost 2 out of 3 at Veterans Stadium to the Phillies over the weekend, including a 3-1 decision yesterday. The home plate umpire says yes, he did. Womack can't believe that one. So Malone gets the strikeout, 1 down in the 5th.
I saw the body turn. I don't think I ever saw the bat go around.
Curt Schilling 0 for 2 at the plate, but he has struck out 7 in 4 innings. Now 0-2. Ron Malone. Chris Benson was named the starter Monday night. Malone was told he would go to the bullpen. And Mike Lincoln yesterday was told, after he pitched 2 perfect innings, that he was going to AAA Nashville. This is a guy with an earned run average of 0.54. Oh my goodness. Makoviak let that ball sneak under his glove. That's a gift hit for Curt Schilling.
Up on the backhand side, but Robin Koviak did get to the ball. And it's one of those nights.
Craig Counsell is 2 for 3.
Take a look at this stance that Craig Counsell features. I'd love to see a matchup when Hideo Nomo pitches against Craig Counsell. Just stay with it. It gets better and better. Way up, way up, way up. I talked to Craig about that in Arizona. He said mostly it's comfort. He says by the time I get to the pitch, there's nothing that resembles that early part of the stance. If that's comfort, well, God bless him.
1-2 on Counsell.
But I'll tell you one thing, whew, it is working. He's hitting over 300, and they absolutely love his work as an Arizona Diamondbacks player. The whole organization, his approach, his enthusiasm, his passion. They absolutely think the world of the job he's doing for him.
Back to Malone. A double play. 1-6-3. A DP. No damage. Halfway mark. 9-0. Armando Rios leads off for Pittsburgh. It is 9-0 Arizona. Bottom of the 5th inning. We invite you to stay tuned. Join Guy Junker and Pat Paris after the game. Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. Rob King will have a live player interview from the field. Chad Hermanson talks about getting another chance with the Pirates. And Fox Sports Net's Lisa Guerrero is in town. You'll find out why. It's all after the game on Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. Our Giant Eagle home run hitters contestant is Harvard Olinger of Pittsburgh. Actually think we had Harvard on the other day on the radio side. Pulled him again and he won, so.
It's another shot.
See if we can get him another one. Armando Rios is still looking for his first Pirate homer. And in the meantime, Steve, as always, we've got to thank our good buddy Carl Middleman and John Malone of Aramark.
Laker Steak and Lube. Well, I'll tell you one thing that will not go to waste. And Kurt Schilling not wasting any time. He's retired the last 10 in a row after the single by Giles. That has been the only Pirate base runner. And as expected, Kurt Schilling going to the whip.
Of the 12 outs, he has recorded 7 of them via the K. The strikeout, and Kurt Schilling's name, like Randy Johnson, becoming synonymous with the K. Last year, Schilling fan 293. In fact, that duo of Schilling and Johnson combined for a major league record 665 strikeouts, a mark that had previously been held by Nolan Ryan and Bill Singer. They had 624 for the 1973 Angels.
And I'm sure Singer did pretty well, but I would guess that Nolan had the pretty good majority.
I
of
would
that.
think so.
But it almost seems like they motivate each other, and I don't know if they would own up to that, but there's 97 miles an hour, and that's going to the whip hard. Number 8. That's just sending a message. I'm going to throw as hard as I can. You can swing as hard as you can, and we'll see who wins. Schilling has won 8 times so far. Jerry Meals behind the plate calling the balls and strikes, and he's called a lot of strikes. Eric Cooper, Mike Riley, and Jeff Kellogg umpiring on the bases. It's not been much work for them so far tonight. And Schilling has been out on the mound.
Schilling the backhand, and he will decide to eat it. Kendall with an infield hit. The second hit against Kurt Schilling.
A little chopper that Kurt, who's a right-hand pitcher, has to reverse his follow-through, which goes over to first base, come back, pick up the ball. Never did get a handle on it. Rolls down his back, and he'll hold on to it. There's the reversal of the follow-through, and never did get a grip on the ball.
I don't think he has a chance to get Kendall anyway. Schilling upset with himself for not being able to handle it. It's fouled back. Kendall has still struck out only 3 times on this season. Last time he struck out was April the 16th. At this rate, he'll punch out 15 to 20 times this year. You figure he gets 500 to 550 at bats, somewhere around there. The team record of strikeouts, fewest by a regular, is 7. Third baseman Pie Traynor struck out 7 times in 1929. The last Pirate to strike out, there's Pie Traynor's number 20 along that wall of fame here at PNC Park, the retired Pirate uniform numbers. Johnny Ray, second baseman for the Pirates in the 80s, struck out just 24 times in 1985. That's the closest anybody's come to the Pie Traynor figure, but Kendall, the way he's going, unbelievable. There's 3 punch outs, and of course his average continues to rise. 1 for 2 tonight.
And, really could possibly be 2 for 2, except for a good play by Mark Grace.
Yeah. Grace made that play far to his right to cut off a potential hit by Kendall.
And he and Jason will talk it over. One of my old, from years back, lookalikes, Mark Harmon and Mark Grace.
Mark Grace spent, what, 13 years in a Cubs uniform? No one dreamed that he would move to another organization. Strike 3. That is 9 Ks. It's the Best Damn Sports Show, period. With host Chris Rose, Tom Arnold, and a bunch of ex-jocks. The only show that gives you sports comedy, commentary, scores, and highlights. So kick back, relax, and enjoy the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Weeknights at 8 and 11, only on Fox Sports Net. 9 strikeouts for Schilling. Now the batter, Jack Wilson. How about Patty?
It just gets better and better. We've got wings and we got pizza and we got peppermint patty.
Better delivery person this time.
Oh, yes.
Patty can deliver our pizza anytime.
They can have Lisa Guerrero. We'll keep Patty. Patty's
it's a good
our
call.
hero.
Patty,
thank you.
The makeup lady. She doesn't mind being called that, does she?
No.
Makeup artist, I should say.
Artiste.
Popped up. And the catch made in foul territory. Jack Wilson pops out to Craig Counsell. 5 innings here at PNC Park. 9-0 Snakes.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Chrysler. Drive equals love.
We're back at PNC Park where things got away from the Pirates early. And so gives Lloyd McClendon a chance to get Keith Osick some PT at first base. And Craig Wilson moves from first to behind the plate.
Jimmy Trudinich, our PR director, alerting us to the fact that this is the 11th appearance behind the plate for Craig Wilson.
First this year. 10 times Wilson caught some games last year. There's Jason Kendall talking to first base coach Tommy Sant. Rolled, shortstop. Jack Wilson can't come up with it cleanly. Danny Batista is aboard.
Might be a tough call for the official scorer because you don't want to add on to the error total yet. Jack Wilson can make that play. And most of the time does.
Yep, that's an error. 7 errors on the year for Jack Wilson. 2 tonight, 4 for the Bucks in this game. Here's Luis Gonzalez. 3 for 3, 4 runs batted in.
Looking for a triple for the cycle.
Yeah. In this park you can get triples. Drive one into that notch in left center, and there will be a passed ball against Craig Wilson.
Well, we're covering it all. We've had a wild pitch, 4 errors, a passed ball, giving up a home run. And if you allow the cycle, that pretty much puts a lid on it. Your triple possibilities in this ballpark, as you take a look at the pass ball, pretty much down the left field line if you got a ball rolling around and running away from Brian Giles, or that notch in left center field. So if we can hold that shot down here is a possibility, out there is a possibility.
Luis Gonzalez, the game-winning hit, Game 7 of the World Series against the New York Yankees. After batting .325 during the regular season with 57 homers and 142 runs batted in.
Kind of fitting, isn't it, that
Yeah.
he drives in the winter? Big part of them getting there. Off the fist, and count holds at 1-2.
Here in the bullpen, there is Chuck Tanner's son, Bruce, bullpen coach, next to Another coach, Jeff Bannister. Not much you can do out there.
Well, yeah, you almost want to warm up so you can keep warm. The Pirates obviously looking for some innings from Ron Valone to save other arms in the bullpen in a game that's not over yet, but it is a long way toward that end. The open stance of Luis Gonzalez.
Oh, brother. Well, Craig Wilson.
It can be ruled either way, a wild pitch or pass ball, but it just adds on to the bad taste of this ball game.
I don't think that ball hit the dirt. It's a pass ball. Infield looking for an out. They'll get one. Keith Hosick with a nice play. Runner holds.
Sharply hit and a good scoop.
Steve Finley 0 for 3. Nice play by Keith Hosick. Saw him make some fine defensive plays the other day at third. Ball 1.
Pirates will bring the infield in.
Two balls, no strikes on Steve Finley. 9 runs, 11 hits for Arizona. No runs, 2 hits for Pittsburgh. Diamondbacks have been faring much better at home. 280 at home. There's a liner to right. Rios makes the catch. Runner will tag and score. 10-0. A look now at our UPMC injury update. The Diamondbacks, you wouldn't know it, but they're hurting. Some of them anyway. Jay Bell, the former Pirate, was about to come back. I think it was his last game rehabbing when he re-injured a calf. Dave DeLucci is on the DL. Rubiel Durazo scheduled to come back at some point.
Look at the primary guys that they really, at one time, really depended on. Manti, Reynoso, Stottlemyre, Matt Williams, and pretty big names, especially in the early formation of the Diamondbacks.
Two on Damian Miller. Todd Stottlemyre, one of the guys, a veteran who a couple of years ago discovered he had that rotator cuff problem, but he opted against surgery. Initially, and then last year had surgery performed. Question of whether Stottlemyre will ever return. Still 1-2 on Damian Miller. Matt Morris certainly came back from Tommy John surgery. You saw that list when Benson was out there. Matt Morris of the Cardinals. The Redbirds decided 2 years ago to bring him back slowly out of the bullpen. Last year he won 22 games. Tonight he pitches a 4-hitter as the Cardinals beat the Cubs 3-0 at Wrigley Field. First game since the accusations flew regarding sign stealing. We'll talk more about that when we come back. The strikeout by Ron Valone. Go to the bottom of the 6th. 10-0 Arizona. Give me some pizza. Go. Look at this. Look at this. Look at these guys. That's the truck. They're supposed to be producing a game.
Oh, man.
Scarfing down pizza.
Hey, look at that Houston Phillies score. That's 16-1 in that one.
How about some pies for us?
Here's what I say to Denver. This ought to be good. 14,500.
14,500 announced paid attendance. Jose Guillen is back playing right field in Pittsburgh for the Diamondbacks. Ron Malone takes ball one from Schilling. Schilling has struck out 9. Got a good shot at getting number 10 here, even though he's behind in the count.
I don't know if he'll strike Ron Malone out, but I can assure you he will not walk him.
I predict he'll strike him out, but 2-2. That's not a real tough prediction. Malone,
you're going out on that limb again, aren't
yeah,
you?
Going out with you. Curt Schilling struck out 17, a career high, earlier this season against the Milwaukee Brewers. How about this? A leadoff single for Ron Malone. That is the third hit off Schilling. Coors Light, what's on tap? Tomorrow against the Diamondbacks, Brian Anderson for Arizona against Kip Wells. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock on Fox Sports Net. It's also girls' night out here at PNC Park. Chad Hermanson 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out.
Unless they have a curfew.
One strike. Curt Schilling, 35 years old, from Anchorage, Alaska. He said his first professional game he ever saw was Roberto Clemente's 3,000th hit game at Three River Stadium. He said he'll never forget the day Clemente died. He saw his father crying. There's a shot up the middle for Chad Hermanson. This runners at first and second.
So the first game he saw was September of '72. From what I remember, Curt had relatives in the Somerset area. They used to spend some summers, and
that makes sense.
Got to know the Pirates and follow them along those years.
His father was in the service, so the family did a lot of traveling. In fact, he was born in Anchorage, Alaska. Lived there the first 5 years of his life, and then lived in a bunch of places. Grew up high school years in Phoenix.
And right now he's going over the signs that they will use with a man on second, because this is the first time the Pirates have had a man at second base. So he has to go into conference with Damian Miller. And use the first sign, second sign, some other kind of an indicator, with the guy at second looking straight in.
Fly ball left field, going back is Gonzalez. He's got room, and he'll make the catch. Tagging from second to draw the throw is Ron Malone. He is into it, doesn't matter the score. Ron Malone loves the competition. Brian Giles has singled and popped up.
By the way, I think this is the Cochran Grand Slam Grand Am inning, and you need another man on base. Pirates get a grand slam, somebody wins a car.
That would be something. Ball one on Giles, and Ramos Ramirez is on deck, so.
Hallelujah.
Ball and a strike. Giles has singled and popped up. You mentioned Matt Morris pitching that 4-hitter. Cardinals beat the Cubs. In Morris's last start, he gave up a homer to Sammy Sosa, and the Cardinals claimed that Sosa was getting help on pitch location from his coaches. Sosa denied it. Dave Duncan, the pitching coach, was one that suggested the coaches were signaling Sosa locations during that game. Sosa denied it, said he doesn't really need to do that. He's not that type of player. But Duncan insisted that somebody on the Cardinals team let him know locations. We let them know that they were doing it, and it would be in their best interest to stop doing it. Morris said following that game, it's Bush League baseball. The guy's an all-star, and they're tipping off location. Come on. Somebody might get a fastball in the ear on Monday, which is tonight, if that's the way they want it. You know, Morris let his pitching do the talking. Fly ball to center field. Going back is Finley. And he's got some room, not much, but enough, as Malone tags and moves to third on the deep fly ball by Giles. Steve, what is your opinion on that? And what's the history of tipping off pitches?
Well, throughout baseball, there's always been accusations, and it's hard to ever confirm them that it's there used to be a time when I was playing, there was a rumor that the scoreboard at Wrigley Field, which is in dead center field, had a guy up there who manually puts up the light, and that he would turn on a light. And they were using a telescope when a fastball was coming, they'd turn on a little light bulb, and you'd be able to see. And it was speculation, but it was never confirmed. The ball fouled away. And throughout the years, there's been speculation that the signs are picked up by a telescope or binoculars or some other particular way. But again, it's always hard to verify them.
But it's a no-no. It's taboo. You shouldn't be doing it.
Well,
if you're a coach, you shouldn't be letting one of your players know what the location might be of a ball. Or
well, if you can find out, you know, if you can get away with it, sure.
Hard hit, but the third baseman Donalds throws to second and just does get the runner there. Hermanson, the fielder's choice, goes 5-4, and the shutout still intact. 10-0 D-backs. We're back, and more changes for the Pirates as you look into the production truck. Adrian Brown into the ball game to play center field. He'll bat in Giles' spot of the order. Chad Hermanson moves from center field to left field. And now Mike Benjamin playing third base for Ramos Ramirez. Sunday, May 26th is Kids Magic Baseball Day. The Bucks host the Cardinals at 1:35. All kids 12 and under receive a Kids Magic Baseball courtesy of Giant Eagle. For tickets, call 877-893-BUCKS. Visit PittsburghPirates.com or come down to the PNC Park ticket office. That's Kids Magic Baseball Day against the Cardinals at 1:35.
So the return of Chris Benson and Ramos Ramirez, they are both out of the ball game now. Less than dazzling returns, but the key point, they return. I guess that's the way we have to look at it, and the way we will look at it, and hope that they can get it together and move beyond this initial comeback program.
Oh, man. Race went down like a shot.
He says, I've been around this game for about 20 years. We're ahead 9-0. The ball game is out of hand, and I got to whack one off my ankle on a rainy night in Pittsburgh around midnight.
Yeah, about 40 degrees. 0-2 on Grace.
He still doesn't feel anything yet, but he's back in there. The only thing that could be worse for Mark Grace right now would be to foul another one right off that same spot. And didn't
Almost
miss by much. There's that look. I'm too old for that stuff.
He is not sure whether he will be back in a Diamondbacks uniform next year. He sees them going in a different direction. Hit toward left center. Adrian Brown can't make the play. Kept it in front of him, but didn't know exactly where it was. So Grace will go into second base with one of his patented doubles.
He's had a bunch of them in his career. This one lands just in front of Adrian Brown, and it bounces away just far enough where Mark, who can see everything that's happening in front of him as he makes the turn, can make his way comfortably into second base. It just looks like the baseball doesn't want to stay in a Pirate glove tonight.
Greg Colbrin will pinch run for Mark Grace and then stay in the game to play first. Mark Grace with a double. That's 494 for his career. That's third among active players. Rafael Palmeiro of the Texas Rangers, 502. Ricky Henderson has 505. 2 base hits. They're great careers. So Grace needs 6 more to reach that 500 mark. He says that will be special, and there's a drive. Rios makes the catch. Colbrin will tag and go to third, out number 1. Join Guy Junker and Pat Paris after the game. Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. Rob King will have a live player interview from the field. Chad Hermanson talking about getting another chance with the Pirates. And of course, Fox Sports Net's Lisa Guerrero is in town, and you'll find out why. That's all after the game on Pittsburgh Sports Tonight.
Hey, some good news tonight, and we've not had much so far. Gil Lucas, our buddy down in Anna Marie Island, had his first ever career hole-in-one.
No way.
Braden Country Club.
Come on. Are you serious?
Foul ball, yep, from the old KBL days and the early days of cable television. Gil Lucas really helped to tie all this stuff together. That you see the results.
Uncle Gil,
yeah.
congratulations.
Uncle Gil got the hole.
Let's find out what hole?
Number 6.
Okay.
Number 6, Braden Country.
I'll be darned.
Congratulations, Gilbert. I hope Susie bought you dinner that night. You had it coming.
Knowing Gil, I don't think he'll tell anybody about that.
I don't know.
I don't think anybody will hear about it after tonight.
I don't know anything about computers, but there's something about a buddy list or something that it went all over the nation. I'm not sure.
Guaranteed. 0-2 on Womack.
And another bit of good news, too, that we'll pass on, seeing as we
Keep going, yeah.
Yeah.
We like that.
I heard today that Bob Walk, our broadcast partner over on the radio side, is going to be inducted in the Pennsylvania Hall of Fame. And that's legit and that's accurate, and we congratulate him. The ceremonies will be held in November.
Oh my gosh.
Bob Walk is going to be a member of Pennsylvania's Hall of Fame.
That is great.
Yep.
Well deserved. Well, liner to left, and Tony Womack singles home the 11th run of the ball game. Here is Bob Walk.
Now stay right with me now.
Pennsylvania H Hall of Fame.
Congratulations.
Great
Robert.
honor.
Yep.
Where will that be, in Wilkes-Barre?
In Wilkes-Barre, yep.
Well, we'll be there. It's fouled out of play. We'd have been there. We'd have been there anyway, by the way, but it's especially nice that Bob will be there. What's that?
Well, just
Close?
exclamation point, or I don't know, parentheses. I don't know what the grammar stuff is. Yeah, if we could go to Toronto for Mike Lang, we certainly can go to Wilkes-Barre.
Absolutely.
And we'll let both Kim and Karen know that we're expecting it to be a 4-day event. Only right. Bob pitched for the Phillies.
Yeah.
Pitched for the Pirates.
That's true.
Going to be honored in the middle of the state.
Yeah.
That's the only part of the state he hadn't covered. And he's there now. He will be. By the way, I received word, and they said he is inducted into the Pennsylvania Hall of Fame.
Don't tell him.
But he's got to be at the dinner, or it's no deal.
Oh.
So that's the deal. Oh, you better be there.
So it's
Attendance required.
fouled off by Schilling. That base hit by Womack snapped an 0 for 17 string as he brought home Colbrin, Randy Johnson, and Luis Gonzalez. Smiling there, but boy, you don't want to see Randy Johnson on the day he pitches.
Well, that's the look you get. That railing is like his glove when he glares over the top of those, and those eyes that like the eyes of the eagle. I mean, you talk about somebody that's locked in. When he looks over top of the glove like he is looking over the top of that railing, it is all business.
Gonzalez calls him the Tasmanian Devil. You just stay the heck away from him the day he pitches. 2-2 on Schilling. He called Schilling. He said Schilling looks like Fred Flintstone when he runs down the line after hitting a ball.
Well, you remember when Johnson fell down rounding first last year when the Pirates played, and the next day Schilling had drawn like a police outline, like a chalk around the body. That was hilarious.
The third K for Valone. It's the Best Damn Sports Show, period, with host Chris Rose, Tom Arnold, and a bunch of ex-jocks. The only show that gives you sports comedy, commentary, scores, and highlights. Kick back, relax, enjoy the Best Damn Sports Show, period, weeknights at 8 and 11 only on Fox Sports Net. And there she is, Steve, Lisa Guerrero, pushing the guys on those carts. Want to know on Craig Counsell. You say Pedro had a better year than she, huh?
I didn't say better year, probably a
Better
longer career. Yeah.
That play goes 3-1.
Get us out of here.
All right, let's head to the bottom of the 7th inning, and we will check in with our Los Angeles studios for a sports update.
2, 1.
You're watching Fox Sports Net's exclusive coverage of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Greg Colburn stays in the ball game to play first. Alex Cintron takes over at second base. Giant Eagle home run hitters contestant Caroline Bartkus of North Huntington, Pennsylvania.
And it might be your last shot against Curt Schilling. It might be one of those games where Bob Brenly will say, okay, you've made your point. We're ahead 11-0, and it's going to be a 7-inning program. But
and you're out of here.
between now and then, Curt Schilling is going to keep pouring it on.
The Astros are pouring it on the Phillies. In fact, it's over. 17-3. Houston wins it over Philadelphia at the former Enron Astros Field. Tim Redding was the beneficiary of those runs. He is 2-2 with the victory. 7 innings, 1 run. Brandon Duckworth gave up 5 runs in 4 innings. Cliff Polite didn't retire a batter, gave up 4 runs. Fly to right. Yan makes the catch.
Question that might be pertinent. Todd Craig Biggio, do we have a box score there? Because he has been.
Yeah, he needed some hits, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was 0 for 5.
Ouch.
Down to 214.
Now, somebody always gets left out of that kind of party, and Craig Biggio is exactly the guy the Astros did not need to have an 0 for 5 night.
Jeff Blum, the third baseman, drove in 5 runs, had 3 hits. Richard Hidalgo had 3 hits. Lance Berkman had 3 hits.
More RBIs for Berkman.
Berkman did not have a run batted in. So the Phillies get toasted in Houston, while the Cincinnati Reds shut out the Milwaukee Brewers 5-0. Jose Rijo 5 3-hit innings to improve to 3-1. Talked about coming back from some surgeries. Well, Rijo is coming back from 5 of them.
He was starting to get his pension, I think. Been out so long.
Jose Cabrera, the loser for Milwaukee. So the Reds are going to go 3.5 up, unless a miracle occurs here tonight on the Pirates. And the Cardinals now are just a game behind Pittsburgh if the Bucks don't come back tonight. The Pirates are going to drop to 3.5 off the pace. The Cardinals remain 4.5 back.
I think there's a little payback for the Houston Astros after being swept by the Phillies the previous weekend. The previous week.
Keith Osick is strikeout victim number 10. 5th time this season. He's had double digits in Ks.
94, 6 short of 100, and we are in the middle of May. Curt Schilling.
Greg Wilson has struck out twice. And Schilling, it's not just going out there and firing the ball. He is a real student of the game. He has a laptop he carries with him. He has files on all these hitters over the last several years that he's faced, their tendencies. He studies it. In contrast to his left-handed partner, teammate Randy Johnson, who doesn't go through that routine. It works for Schilling, as Johnson says. It doesn't work for me. But Schilling, I mean, he works between starts. Randy Johnson.
More of a guy that goes by his instincts. Not that Schilling doesn't, but Randy Johnson says, give me the ball. I'm going to pretty much trust my real good stuff and have at it. Some kind of 1-2 punch.
The reason I mention it now is because Wilson hit that home run off of Schilling in the last start at Bank One Ballpark, the first inning home run. But after that, fly to left, bounced out here tonight, has struck out twice looking. So Schilling almost had another one there. You get him once, okay, but tough to get him twice, especially if you're a young, inexperienced player. 102 pitches thrown by Curt Schilling,
who, by the way, has a big weekend coming up. He is so involved in the ALS, the Lou Gehrig Disease Foundation. And this weekend, the 18th and 19th, make a pledge for all the home runs that are hitting the major leagues. We'll give you a website address in a moment when we can. The pitch at Mrs. Downstairs, www.alsa.org. And you can make a pledge. You can bet pledge a quarter for each major league home run. They average 32 a day, so it's a 2-day program. www.alsa.org if you want to get involved in that.
and he gets Craig Wilson for the third time. 11 Ks for Curt Schilling, and he has the 4-hit shutout working. The Bucks being blanked 11-0. Time now for our Pennzoil protection play of the game. Well, you don't have to protect much when you've got Schilling on his game, punching out 11. Here are just a handful of Ks for Schilling, and apparently he's done. He got the handshakes. Brenly, his skipper. Your strikeout leaders. A brief look there. Curt Schilling with 95.
Got a handful of punch outs tonight. A couple of handfuls, unless you're Antonio Alfonseca, and then you need a couple of handful plus one.
So he's up to 95. Jose Guillen. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Like Schilling is going to depart. Mike Morgan starting to get ready in the Arizona bullpen.
Guillen, who was traded to the Tampa Bay Devil Rays during the '99 season. Spent 3 years in that organization. This is his first with Arizona. Ron Malone is giving Lloyd McClendon some innings, which may go unnoticed to many, but not to the manager. Very important that he keeps that bullpen fresh for tomorrow and the rest of the week. Two balls, 2 strikes on Jose Guillen, his first plate appearance. We saw his numbers this year in limited play. Hit .274 last year with Tampa Bay. 3 homers, 11 runs batted in. Split his time between the Devil Rays and AAA Durham. Reaches out into shallow right field, and Armando Rios. An 11-0 ball game, and Rios gives it up to get the out. Dive and grab.
Kind of turned the glove a different kind of way than you would instruct youngsters, but he was able to get the glove around the baseball. Good effort by Armando Rios in right field. Get Kip Wells going to the mound for the Pirates tonight against Brian Anderson, who is 0-2 with a 6.83 ERA, part of that other 3 guys in the rotation program for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Rick Helling in the last game of the series before the Pirates head up on the road again will be Jimmy Anderson for the Bucks. Wells and Anderson against Anderson and Helling.
Pirates with just 4 hits tonight. They could use a ball game where they score some runs, get some hits like the Diamondbacks have tonight. 11 runs, 13 hits for Arizona. Gonzalez looking for a triple for the cycle. He has homered, doubled, singled, has driven in 4 runs. 1-2 the count. And he is a strikeout victim. Number 4 for Ron Valone.
Well, you're right about some offense. The Pirates coming into the game with a team batting average of 229. It hasn't been helped tonight, and that mark was the lowest in the major leagues. And so the Pirates will not gain any ground on anybody as a result of this performance against Arizona.
The lowest team batting average ever for a Pirates team in 116 years was 231. The 1952 Pirates club. Buccos hit 247 last year. Strike on Finley.
That was the Ricky Dinks, Rinky Dinks, the Branch Ricky. Led Pirates of 52 that struggled mightily, to say the least.
2-1 on Finley. Pirates going to drop back to 500 even on the year. Barry Bonds has hit his 13th home run of this season. The Giants and the Atlanta Braves are going at it in San Francisco 4-3 in favor of the Giants. And that was ball 4 on Finley. Two-out walk brings up Damian Miller. The Pirates have yet to retire the Diamondbacks in order. Not had a 1-2-3 inning tonight. Spin Williams, Pirates pitching coach, has done a great job. No pitching coach, no staff better prepared than this Pirates club. Ball and a strike.
Tough combination. Given up 13 hits and committed 4 errors. A whole lot you can do to overcome that. Get on the other side of it. Start from scratch tomorrow night with left-hander Jimmy Anderson.
Base hit to right for Damian Miller, his 2nd hit in the ball game. Greg Colbrin will come to the plate with runners at 1st and 2nd. 14 hits for Arizona. Pirates with 4. Again, the Reds shut out Milwaukee. Some of those scores you see during the course of the ball game on your screen. Houston beat Philadelphia 17-3. Matt Morris, the 4-hit shutout, is 6-2. Matt Morris, after winning 22 games last year, is off to a 6-2 start this season. Kerry Wood was the losing pitcher to fall to 4-3. Interesting pitching matchup. We didn't discuss that much, but all that talk about Tommy John surgery, those are 2 guys that were on that list earlier, Wood and Morris. They've come back strong.
Remember how we used to laugh at that TV show, The $6 Million Man?
Yeah.
Lee Majors.
We can rebuild him.
Well, yeah, we can rebuild him, and plus, that's a bargain these days, $6 million.
Hit toward left center. Adrian Brown is going to be there, actually toward straightaway center field as it turns out. 2 men left on. Head to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is 11-0 Diamondbacks. You're watching Pirates baseball only on Fox Sports Net. More changes. Next game tomorrow night, Diamondbacks and the Bucks here at PNC Park.
Changes for the Diamondbacks in left field. It is Quentin McCracken. And behind the plate, it is Rod Barajas. And Mike Morgan, veteran right-hander, will attempt to work the last couple innings for the Diamondbacks and preserve what would be the 8th win for Curt Schilling against 1 loss, as his ERA would probably dip down close to the 3 even mark or perhaps below. 7 shutout innings tonight.
We saw the update there, safe at home, safe auto insurance total. Not much has changed.
Pretty much the way it
our
was
last
yesterday.
telecast,
Yeah.
yes. Mike Morgan, 42 years old and still kicking. Jack Wilson pops it up, second base. Cintron makes the catch.
Curt Schilling, the 7 innings with 4 hits, no walks, 11 strikeouts. Clean work for the Arizona right-hander tonight.
Ron Vallone will bat. Mike Morgan, the Pirates made a valiant comeback against the Diamondbacks on Tuesday night at Bank One Ballpark in the 8th inning. They started a rally. In fact, they ended up scoring 3 runs that particular frame to get the game tied up. Arizona would win it in the bottom of the 8th inning. A 2-run homer by Jason Kendall off Mike Morgan. Tied Tuesday night's game up at 6 apiece.
3 one-run ball games there. The Pirates really did have a legitimate shot at all 3 of them.
Pirates trailed 6-2 going into the 7th inning in that game. Ron Vallone to short. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Brings up Chad Hermanson. He owns 1 of the 4 hits. Mike Morgan, his first taste of the big leagues was in 1978. He pitched in 3 ball games for the Oakland A's.
Fresh out of high school.
Mike Morgan, first player in Major League sports to wear the uniform of 12 different teams. Hermanson gets into that one to deep right. Guillen is back. He is going to play this one off the fence. A double for Hermanson, who's 2 for 4 tonight, 1 for 3 last night.
The other name I remember coming out of high school to pitch in a Major League ball game was David Clyde. Came out and pitched for the Texas Rangers way back when. Think about that. From a high school uniform to working in front of a Major League crowd against Major League hitters. Wow. I can only imagine how tough that would be.
Fly to left. McCracken toward the line. Oh, and he makes a fantastic running catch in foul territory. Quentin McCracken. Koviak fouls out. Go to the 9th. 11-0. Donalds, then Womack and McCracken for the D-backs.
Pittsburgh Pirates baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people. And by your local Jeep dealers. Jeep, there's only one.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh. A cool night. It's been a bad ball game, Steve, for some, but at least, would you say, at least we've eaten well. Good try. You tried to hide it.
Yeah, I did. Didn't work out.
Young Mr. Hewitt has spotted it.
Well, you can only, they say if you're around long enough, you get exposed. And we've been exposed. Guilty as charged. There will be an appeal. We've been had by our friends. We thought our friends in the booth.
You know that's Tom Hewitt's brother, by the way. Did you know that?
I do now. This will be put on the resume, by the way. This will not go unnoticed.
Steve, here is the evidence. What more does the court need? Look.
Where did that come?
Look at this.
Where did that come from? I have no idea. I have no idea where that came from.
I like the way you tried to hide it with that thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
1 and 2 on Donalds. Fouled out of play. Well, 2-hour rain delay, and then in the very first inning, after Chris Benson retired the first batter he faced, what a nice start it was. Counsell grounded out. Danny Batista hit a slow roller that Jack Wilson was unable to field, and then threw past Craig Wilson for a single and an error, and then Luis Gonzalez hit a Benson curveball over the right field wall for a 2-0 lead, and the Diamondbacks took off from there. Malone strikes out his 5th, and lost in all this is the job that Ron Malone has done. So
You
far,
don't want to be over dramatic, but it's an example of professionalism.
1 earned run for Ron Malone. And the catch made by Jack Wilson.
Yeah, how symbolic with the first batter of the game, Craig Counsell. The pitch from Benson, who's been out, a ground ball to Ramirez for the out 5-3. We thought, well, maybe that would be a sign. And not to be.
And Quentin McCracken to the plate. Came on to play left field, batting in the 9th spot.
Both benches being emptied in this type of a ball game.
Oh, and 1 on Quentin McCracken. 2 outs in the 9th. 11-0 Arizona. So the Pirates' overall record against the Diamondbacks since they came into existence will fall to 10-25. They have really had the Pirates' number. Malone gets another strikeout. 6 for Ron Malone. Malone, the lone bright spot in this ball game. 11-0 Pirates trail the D-backs.
It is grand salami time!
Well, that line tells the sad story tonight. Our Advanced Auto Parts player of the game is the Diamondback starter Curt Schilling. He's about to go to 8-1.
And he was vintage Curt Schilling tonight. The numbers and his clean evening of work, even though it had a late start.
11 Ks for Schilling. He'll be the Major League's first 8-game winner. Brings up Adrian Brown with his first plate appearance. Curt Schilling's record, by the way, following a Diamondbacks loss over the last 2 years, will improve to 15-1. That is a stopper. Mike Myers.
Delivering from down under.
Hardy Bucco fans with a "Let's Go Bucks" chant.
Morgan a scoreless inning, and for Ron Malone, 5 1/3, 2 runs given up, 1 earned in 5 1/3, 4 hits, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Terrific work under any circumstances. Adrian Brown keeps his string intact of having appeared in every Pirate game this year. Pirates will end this evening with an 18-18 record unless something really extreme happens at 500.
The Pirates' hits 2 for Chad Hermanson, 1 for Brian Giles, an infield hit for Jason Kendall, and a base hit for the pitcher Ron Vallone. Two hops, Cintron on to first, 1 out. And Mike Benjamin gets his first plate appearance tonight. 11 runs, 14 hits for the Diamondbacks, no runs, 5 hits for the Pirates. Be anxious to get a good look at Chris Benson's next start, which should come Saturday at Astros Field in Houston. 2-0 on Benjamin.
Yeah, when the Pirates finish up with these Diamondbacks Wednesday night, they will head to Houston for 4 games over the weekend, and then to Chicago for 4 games, including a doubleheader.
I think the rest of the way we're televising too. The whole, or no, Sunday night we don't do it.
Correct. I think
Televise
radio only Sunday night.
first 3 in Houston and 4 in Chicago. Off the plate, this should be a hit for Benjamin. It is. Ramos Ramirez was 0 for 3 in his return. Benjamin gets a base hit. And brings up Armando Rios. Only 1 game in the American League tonight. Minnesota beat the Kansas City Royals 3-2. Kansas City yet to name a new skipper. We've got our fingers crossed for former Bucco catcher, current Astros bench coach Tony Pena.
Try to follow the release point from Mike Myers. Comes from down under the side. Tough enough for anybody to pick up where he releases the ball, especially the left-hand batter. Did a lot of good work for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Rios thought that one was low.
Myers didn't, and Jerry Meals didn't.
Benjamin at first, 1 out, and the Pirates are trailing by 11 runs.
He got 2 runners on base in just 1 inning. That was the bottom of the 6th. A single by Vallone and then a single by Chad Hermanson. At one point, Kurt Schilling retired 8 in a row.
Three and 2 on Rios. Myers gets him. And that's the 3rd K for Rios. And Keith Osick comes to the plate. Myers trying to wrap it up. Give the Diamondbacks their 24th win of the year. San Francisco and Atlanta tied up. The Giants lead the West by a half game over Arizona. 5th year of existence for these Diamondbacks. Jerry Colangelo, the owner, and Joe Garagiola Jr. put this winning club together. Took them to the World Series last year in that dramatic 7-game finish over the Yankees. Two and two on Osick. His second plate appearance. I figure Myers wants to just throw strikes up there. I'm sure Brenly wants him to. Heck, you got
I think everybody
nothing to
kinda
lose.
wants, yeah, everybody
11-0.
wants to get on the other side of this thing.
Well, you got that should and will do it. Final of 11-0. Let's send it now to our Fox Sports Net studio.
Good evening. This is Pittsburgh Sports Tonight.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to PST. I'm Pat Paris, along with Guy Junker. We're going to send you right back to PNC Park to wrap up the Bucks and the Diamondbacks. So we're going to catch up with former Bucco Tony Womack, but we begin with a guy who probably his last chance to stick with the big club, and that would be Chad Hermanson.
I would think so. Ramos Ramirez in the starting lineup tonight. Chris Benson started. You're finally starting to get the guys you wanted to have healthy when spring training ended. Chad Hermanson returned to the Pirates starting lineup yesterday. On Sunday, he batted leadoff, promptly stroked the first pitch he saw from Shane Reynolds in the left field for a single. As Pat said, this is probably the last chance Hermanson has to make it with the Bucks. The former #1 draft pick knows it. Stan Savran sat down with Chad during the early evening rain delay at PNC Park.
Chad, you probably had your best spring as a Pirate this past spring. How disappointing was it to get injured and not be able to make the trip north when you knew you were going to make the club?
It was tough. It was, you know, like a couple days before the end of spring training, and when I did it, you know, that night game against the Yankees, I knew it was going to be something to where it's going to take a little while to get over. You know, it's just one of those muscle pulls that you have where you kind of get that gut feeling. It's like, man, this is going to take a couple weeks to heal and to probably get back to. It's like everything goes through your mind again. It's like, man, now I got to probably go on a rehab assignment and everything, and it was you know, something that I obviously didn't want to go through, but something you have to work through.
Even if you have recovered fully physically, have you gotten your game back to the point it was when you knew you were going to make the team right before you got injured?
It's as far, you know, his hitting is concerned, it's coming along. You know, I think it's, you get your timing down and you feel like you're so confident in what you're doing. You're just ready to go every day. And as far as going down to Nashville, getting about 40, 50 at-bats, you know, it takes some time to get the timing down again and just to see pitches. So, you know, hopefully in the next, you know, 100 or so at-bats, you know, I can start to feel like I'm at least, you know, seeing the ball good every pitch and sort of just going out there with the same approach that I've had.
Do you feel that you've got that kind of time, the luxury of 100 at-bats?
I don't know. I don't know. That's I guess that's not really in my hands. You know, that's up to them what they want to do with me, of course. But you know, like I just go out and be prepared as I can every day, and you know, try to get my early work in the cages, and just go up there and try to feel as relaxed and comfortable as I can.
Do you sense that this is a one-time, last-time chance for you, at least here in Pittsburgh?
I'm starting to sense this because everybody's asking me that. So, you know, I guess it could be a do-or-die situation or whatever you want to call it. But, you know, I just want to go out there, play, and just remember that this is a game and how much fun it can be playing. And, you know, you get to this level and you start to put added pressure upon yourself to do things the right way. And you know, of course, you want to go out there and prepare yourself every day to be competitive and do the best to help your team. And that's all I'm trying to do.
I think some of the really good news early on, he walked twice on Sunday. Chad's always struck out far too many times, showing good patience on Sunday. Also stole a base in a pinch running role on Saturday, stole 2 more bases on Sunday, obviously feeling no effects of his injury, and he's pretty well liked. I think, sure hope he makes it this time.
Yeah, I think everybody's pulling for him. Another guy everybody's pulling for, Chris Benson, returning from the Tommy John surgery. Had to wait out about a 2-hour rain delay just to get his first start back with the big leagues. Let's go back to PNC Park, the guys that called the game for you, Greg Brown and Steve Blass. Guys?
Guy and Pat, thanks very much. This was a bad night from the get-go. The only good thing is that Benson gets through it, as you say, gets on the other side of it, and Aramis Ramirez gets his first start.
Yeah, so they're back in. So the next time they're out there, and Ramirez should be out there on a pretty regular basis, it won't be the big excitement, the big headline news. Chris Benson, I'm sure, disappointed, but you know, all things considered, he had some good velocity, some good speed, and he won't have to worry about all this excitement the next time out. Other than that, it was a lousy ball game. The Pirates kicked it around early in the ball game, and when you do that against any team, you're going to be in trouble, but especially against Curt Schilling.
Tone was set early on, really. A botched play by Jack Wilson. It went as a hit, allowed a runner to get on against Chris Benson in the first inning after he retired, the very first batter he faced. But then Gonzo, Luis Gonzalez with his 8th home run of the year, the breaking pitch over the right field fence. It was 2-0, and as Steve said, the Pirates played shabby defense. Ryan Giles, one of 4 errors in the ball game. Here's a potential double play that is dropped by Rob Makoviak, and things went downhill from there. Even Chris Donalds, who was playing third base, as Junior Spivey is nursing an injury, got into the act. The 14-hit attack, 11 runs scored, and it was all the Diamondbacks. And of course, Curt Schilling didn't need more than just a run or two.
Yeah, you give him some extra offense. He's just going to go to the whip. He's going to throw a lot of strikes, the usual power, a bunch of strikeouts, 11 for his major league leading total. So it's one of those nights where the Pirates didn't play well, and they ran against a ball club that did play extremely well and had a hot pitcher out on the mound.
Let's go downstairs, talk to one of the guys that helped out with this offense, Luis Gonzalez, talking to Rob King.
All right, thanks very much, guys. Standing by with Luis Gonzalez. And Luis, first of all, talk us through your first inning home run, because that sort of set the tone for you guys, it seemed.
Well, we knew Benson hadn't been out here in a long time, so a couple guys want to see a couple pitches early. Got a fastball away, and then he threw me a curveball that just kind of hung there, and I was able to get enough of it to get out. But the top of our order did a pretty good job tonight getting on base, and we created a lot of opportunities. We took advantage of a couple misplays out there.
You faced him before. Did he seem as sharp as normal, or it seemed like on the gun on the scoreboard here he was throwing pretty hard, but hard to tell from our vantage point?
Well, he had great velocity tonight, but you know, I think it takes time sometimes. He just this is his first start up here. We knew that coming into the game. We wanted to try to get deeper into some counts and see some pitches off of him because he hadn't been out here. So he's a great pitcher, and we know that he's going to get stronger as the year goes on. So we were trying to take advantage of some runs early, especially with Schilling throwing for us.
I know it's tough conditions out here. Hopefully a little warmer for you guys tomorrow. Luis, thanks very much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, that's Luis Gonzalez, one of the big stars of tonight's game, getting things going with that 2-run homer. Now let's go back upstairs to Greg and Steve. Guys?
Rob, thanks very much. A 4 RBI night. Boy, if you get beat, you like getting beat by a great guy. Luis Gonzalez is that, boy.
Yeah, the good news about this ball game is that it's over, and we get to start from scratch tomorrow night with Kip Wells going against Brian Anderson, who has struggled. He's 0-2 with an ERA over 6, so we hope that we can score some runs and play a little tighter defense.
Pirates need to get that offense going. It has struggled, but Aramis Ramirez should be back in there. So that'll do it from here as the Buccos are whitewashed by Curt Schilling and the Diamondbacks. 11-0. Now back to the studio.
All right, thanks. Tony Womack stands just 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighs a mere 160 pounds, but you won't find a more gutsy player in the majors. Womack made a name for himself, playing parts of 6 seasons for the Pirates, even going to the All-Star game in '97. Just before the '99 season, though, Womack was shipped off to Arizona. Now the D-backs' everyday shortstop, Womack has a World Series ring and a fondness for the city that launched his career. Our Dan Potash has more.
Not too long ago, Tony Womack thought he was in the right place at the right time with the Pirates. As a rookie in 1997, Womack arrived on the scene as an everyday player for a team that was beginning to turn the corner.
For me, that was my first full year. I mean, I've got a little taste before that, but that was actually my first full year. And you kind of remember a lot of things about being in the big leagues, especially early in your career. And as you continue to play and other things develop, you know, those things just add up.
His sophomore season was a success, though the Bucks was not. 93 losses was followed by an offseason trade to Arizona, a team that had just lost 97 games during their inaugural season.
I didn't see them as a team started from scratch, so to speak, because of the players they had. They had Jay Bell, Matt Williams, you know. And they had a lot of veteran guys, Andy Bennis, you know. They had a lot of guys that's been around for a while, so I don't think they were like starting from scratch. It was a new team, but the players were the same old players you played against since, you know, you started.
Of course, the financially secure Diamondbacks did not endure another losing season. In fact, they won 100 games, but that success would be overshadowed just 2 years later, and once again, Womack found himself in the right place at the right time.
With all those things to distract you from doing what you want to do to be champions, it took all my energy to tell myself to treat this as normal as possible, as much as you can, because if you get caught up in the moment, you're going to find yourself trying to do things or be somebody that you haven't been all year.
Womack may now call the Valley of the Sun home, but he has not forgotten about his baseball roots and the fans who helped him plant them.
You know, winning it all, man, was great. It really was. I don't think I can explain that or describe it to anybody, but you know, part of my heart still belongs in the city because, one, it opened the door for me to be where I am now. Two, I still have people here that, you know, I really talk to and I care about. And three, you know, once someone opens up the door for you, you kind of feel obligated to owe them something.
At PNC Park, I'm Dan Potash for Pittsburgh Sports Tonight.
Things obviously worked out very well for Tony Womack going over to Arizona, but I won't forget that day 3 years ago when we were at spring training and he came out and told us, tears in his eyes, gave hugs to all the media, and was very disappointed about leaving because he loved the city and loved playing for the Bucs so much.
You know, he was very close to his dad. His dad died early in the season last year, and he struggled at the beginning of the year. But after the All-Star break, he had the highest batting average and highest on-base percentage of any National League shortstop, and then was huge, winning a playoff game and tying the World Series. And so it was great to see. He's a super guy, and it'd be nice to see him back here someday, maybe.
Yeah, it would very much be nice to see him back, indeed.
Hey, we got a lot more baseball to go here on Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. How does it feel to win the World Series? Well, Diamondback pitcher Curt Schilling is going to give us his memories from last year's Fall Classic.
And Fox Sports Net's Lisa Guerrero is in the Berg. Our Dan Potash will find out why. Stay tuned.
Pittsburgh Sports Tonight is brought to you by Safe Auto.